A young man lived peacefully with his mother in a small house. She cooked for him, cleaned their home, and cared for him with all her heart. Everything changed the day he married. His new wife moved in, and at first the three of them lived together without trouble. But soon tension grew between the two women. The mother began to resent her daughter-in-law, and the young wife felt the same toward her mother-in-law. Their days became filled with silent anger and harsh words. One evening, the man returned home exhausted from working in the forest. He called out to his mother, asking for water to wash himself. She didn't answer. He called again, this time asking for dinner because hunger gnawed at his stomach. Still, she remained silent. Confused and worried, he asked what was wrong. His mother's eyes filled with tears as she began to complain bitterly about his wife. She claimed the young woman hated her, constantly criticized her, and made her life unbearable. She said she couldn't live under the same roof anymore. The man felt torn. He loved his mother deeply. She had raised him alone and sacrificed so much for him. He begged her to try to get along with his wife, reminding her that they were now a family and needed to live together in peace. But his mother refused to listen. She told him there was no dinner because she couldn't cook with his wife in the house. According to her, the young woman did nothing but rest in her room all day while she, an old woman, was expected to do everything. She demanded that he ask his wife to cook instead. The man tried to reason with her, explaining that he loved his wife and couldn't send her away. His mother's voice turned cold and hard. She gave him an ultimatum. He had to choose between her and his wife. He couldn't keep both. That night, the man went to bed without eating, his mind spinning with impossible thoughts. How could he choose between the woman who gave him life and the woman he loved? His mother had fed him, raised him, and protected him when he was helpless. But his wife was young, beautiful, and filled his heart with joy. He couldn't imagine life without either of them. The next morning, his mother demanded an answer. The man said he wanted both of them. She refused to accept that. Then she said something that shocked him to his core. She told him to kill his wife. She said he was young and could easily find another woman to marry, but she was his only mother and deserved his loyalty. The man was horrified, but as he went to work that day, her words haunted him. Slowly, a dark idea took root in his mind. Perhaps his mother was right. She was old and needed him. His wife was young, and he could find someone new. He convinced himself that if he got rid of his wife, he and his mother could live in peace again. When he returned home, he told his mother he had made his choice. He would take his wife up the mountain the next day and throw her off a cliff. His mother's face lit up with satisfaction. She immediately brought him water and prepared all his favorite foods, promising to cook them every day once his wife was gone. The following morning, the man woke his wife early and told her they were going on a journey up the mountain. She was surprised, but agreed to go. When she said she was too tired to walk, he offered to carry her. At first, she was touched by his kindness. She smiled and enjoyed the fresh air and the sight of the trees and sky. But as they climbed higher, she grew quiet. The path became steep and the air grew thin. Finally, they reached the top of a cliff. Standing at the edge, the young woman spoke softly. She told her husband that she understood everything. She knew he was going to throw her over the cliff, but even in that moment, her only concern was for his safety. She pointed to a nearby tree and told him to hold onto one of its branches when he pushed her so he wouldn't fall with her. Her words pierced his heart like a blade. The man stared at his wife in disbelief. She knew she was about to die, yet she still cared about him. She still loved him enough to worry about his life. He set her down gently and sat beside her, his head in his hands. He thought about his mother, who had asked him to kill the woman he loved. Yes, she had raised him and cared for him, but what kind of love demands the death of an innocent person? Then he thought about his wife, who was ready to die and still thought only of his safety. In that moment, he realized the truth. His wife's love was pure and selfless. His mother's love had become selfish and cruel. The man stood up, his decision clear. He lifted his wife into his arms and carried her back down the mountain. When they reached home, he told his mother to leave. He could no longer live with someone who had asked him to destroy the person he loved most. His mother left, and the man and his wife continued their life together. They lived in peace and happiness for many years. And he never forgot the moment on the mountain when he learned what true love really means.